is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis, I'm going. What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you, repping analysisplayground.com. We're going to talk about a player that has been a little under the radar because he doesn't get the opportunity in the most minutes, which he's still young and he's still, developing his play. But, I always look out for the underrated players that a lot of people sleep on or may not know or want to hear about them because a lot of people don't cover the NBA the way I do. But, I'm a guy that watch a lot of the Raptors games, and I like what they've been doing with Fred VanVleet. They took a gamble on Kyle Lowry. They developed DeMar DeRozan. Jonas was a solid center and was doing his thing this year and last year for the Memphis Grizzlies. You have Marcus Gasol trade that I felt like was genius, and it helped them beat the Bucks and helped them in the finals and even helped them against the Sixers when he locked down Joel Embiid offensively. And you have to give a lot of credit to them getting these type of players, even like the OGs, and just developing them and allowing them to be who they are, not putting a lot of pressure on them, allowing them to develop the best way they can, and being hard on them so they know that they have to continue to push if they want minutes and opportunities. And that's the type of culture that you want to build. You want to make sure people are earning it. You want to make sure people are ready, prepared, and once they're going against the best in the world, they're ready to go out there and contribute to winning games on the basketball court. You just don't want to give somebody minutes just because you feel like it. You want to give it to the people that want it, that wants to earn it, that wants to fight for it. And Terrance Davis is one of those guys that when he had the opportunity, he showed that he can be a productive guy. I know his numbers, you can't really go crazy over averaging 7 points per game, but considering the way he started, considering the position that he's in, he looks like he's going to be another steal for the Toronto Raptors in general. And I like what they did here, taking a guy that was 6'4". They didn't really need another guard, but it is good to have depth at that position, especially when they can knock down threes. He's shooting over 36% from three, I think 39 to be exact, and that's what you want, somebody that can give you that floor spacing, but also can get out in transition and do small little things when he's on the court, and it can impact winning. This is a guy that in this Toronto system doesn't have to be the guy, doesn't have to be the man, and doesn't even have to get double-digit points to help them win at this point. But he could be a nice little piece as they go in a different direction once they move on from Kyle Lowry, who seems like he still has a lot left in the tank, being an all-star this year and being one of the more well-rounded point guards this entire season. Eventually, he's going to be one of those guys where they're going to have to move on and go in a different direction. Luckily, they do have Fred VanVleet, who fits the system perfectly, can really run the offense, can really score the basketball, can shoot the three, and you have a guy that's already prepared, that knows the system and the coach, and he can really be a good pickup for them down the road. But that was another guy, like I said, that they stole and really, allowed him to be himself and develop and become something special. So I'm going to get on to it early. I like Terrance Davis for what I've seen so far. I had him as one of those guys that I'm looking at his rookie career. I'm liking what he's doing. I like what he has done. And like I said, for the people that don't know much about Terrance Davis, he does play for the Raptors. He came out of Ole Miss in college. He is a rookie this year, even though the season is basically over. He played 64 games for the Toronto Raptors. He started 2 of them. He only played 17 minutes per game, but look at the production. On 6.1 field goal attempts, he still was able to shoot 46% from the field, which is above average for a volume scorer. And 3.5 three-point attempts, he shot 39%, which is excellent. 86% from the free throw line, even though he didn't attempt that many because he played majority of the time as a role player and a spot-up shooter or a guy that just got on transition. He gave you 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 7.7 points per game. I know those ain't the most craziest numbers. I know those numbers ain't saying he's going to be a superstar, but you want somebody that comes out of nowhere that doesn't garner a lot of attention, a lot of money, because when you're still competitive and you're still competing for a playoff spot, you need those 7th, 8th, and 9th guys, especially because the Raptors have been a team that has always had nagging injuries, even with Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet. It is good to have guys that can come in off the bench or be on the bench that can come in and do what they're supposed to do, play their role, and feel that well, but also know when to be prepared. You have to be prepared whenever your team needs you, and Terrance Davis did that this season, coming off the bench and starting and giving them productive, efficient minutes while also helping them win games. And that's something that you have to give the Toronto Raptors, their whole organization, credit on. They continue to find these type of guys that's hungry, unselfish, team oriented, and they demand them to be great when they're on the court if they need the minutes. And that's why they have become a championship team, and that's why they have been consistently in the playoffs, because they continue to do their research, their scouting, to find young talent, to find talent in general that they can plug into their system, plug into their scheme defensively, and really go out there and be productive. And Terrance Davis was a guy that nobody really cared about, nobody was really paying attention to. The Raptors pick him up, and when he's hungry and he wants to prove they can play in the league and play at the NBA level, he comes out of nowhere and has a sneaky good season for a rookie that nobody cared about or knew about that much. So if I'm a Raptors fan, I'm happy. The only problem is you lost Kawhi Leonard basically for nothing, because you couldn't trade him, and he did win y'all a title, but now y'all trying to find that other great player that can really fit alongside, Siakam. Because right now they already the second best team in the East, but nobody looks at the Raptors as a legitimate championship contender this season, because the Bucks have been so well, and the Bucks have played the Raptors pretty well, even though they match up good against each other in the regular season. So I'm interested to see what the Raptors do. Will they try to compete as long as they can? Will they try to find another move that can put them over the top and win them another title? Or do they just continue to develop, stay the course, and once that opportunity comes, they have the assets, which they do, and they have the contracts that are fair, that's easy to move? We could possibly see them locking up another chance to be a championship contender in the East. Because, like I said, they already a 50-win team. They already one of the best defensive teams. They already one of the best coach teams. They just need somebody on the wing that can literally take a lot of pressure off Siakam. Because we've seen that Siakam can be a great number two. We see that he had an all-star, all-NBA caliber season individually this year. Very great defensively this career, being able to switch and guard multiple positions. But eventually they're going to want to try to win more titles. This roster is just not going to cut it. But the best part about being a Raptors fan is y'all not that far away from being a legitimate championship team again, which is pretty good considering that they lost Kawhi Leonard basically for nothing. And when you look at this team, they took a gamble on Stanley Johnson that didn't really pay off, but they still do have Norman Powell. They still do have Chris Boucher, who has been another steal for them. They still do have guys like Serge Ibaka that might be gone, but he has fit their system well, and was a good impact player for them. And they still do have Kyle Lowry, like I said, who still showed that he has a lot left in the tank. And even with the nagging injuries, they still first in the Atlantic Division, and they still is a 46-18 team without a legitimate, what you would call, superstar player, which is very impressive considering that they lost Kawhi Leonard for absolute nothing, and still has become one of the best teams in the league this season. So I'm impressed with their drafting and their ability to find undrafted players and really trust and believe in them and allow them to play. I'm glad that, Terrance Davis has got on the roster and really proved that he's an NBA player. Even though he's not making that much money, he still has shown that he can be productive, and that's what you want out of a guy in his current position. And at the same time, if you're a Raptors fan, you should be proud of your team to fight, not give up, not quit, and continue to put in the work like they can be a championship contender, because that's the culture you want to set, and that's how you want the team to be mentally. And they didn't cheat the game. They went out there, played hard. They went out there and believed in each other. They played together, and they grinded together. And they are a team that a lot of teams fear. So for them to get another steal in Terrance Davis, for them to be able to go out there and compete knowing that they are a little short-handed every night, shows you that they do still have the heart of the champion. They do have the making of a team that can potentially win a title at the end of the day. And that's one thing, if I'm a Raptors fan, I'm proud of this team. Even if they don't get to the Eastern Conference Finals, even if they lose in the first or the second round, you still have to be proud of how your Toronto Raptors has performed, played, and stayed accountable the entire season as a unit and as a team and as an organization coming off a season where they won the title. They played very well together. Y'all should be proud of them. And now we just want to see what is their next move to get back into their legitimate championship contender that they was last year and ended up being eventual champions. So I want to see how this plays out. I want to see how these things go. I want to see how Terrance Davis continues to develop. Can he be that shooting guard of the future? Can he be a great backup shooting guard under Norman Powell? Can he be a guy that can play with Van Fleet and Kyle Lowry from time to time and be a guy that can really be a steal for them like he has proven so far this season? I want to see his development. I want to see him continue to get better, and I really want to see how far he can push himself to be the best version of himself. And he has the right team and the right organization to help him reach that level if he wants and continues to put in the work. But other than that, that's all I got for y'all today. Just a quick update and just to tell you guys that I see a guy that I respect and I like and I see what he's doing on the court. So I just wanted to show him love because a lot of people might not think about him, might not really know about him, or might just want somebody to talk about him. So I got y'all covered today. Had to do it for the underground today. But like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want any merchandise, you can purchase merchandise on my Spreadshirt. You can also check out my Facebook page. I got shirts and designs on there. You can change the color of the logo. You can change the color of the shirt, and I can get it shipped out to you if you message me on Facebook. Also, I make videos just like this every day. So if you like discussion videos, I also break down footage of players and rookies. I cover Summer League, the draft, preseason. I also cover free agency, trade deadline, and the playoffs all year round. So I try to make a video each and every day to give y'all something to talk about. So if you like this video, you like my older video, you like my breakdowns, why not subscribe and become part of the family? But other than that, Quinn Wade, Basketball Analysis, I'm signing out. And if I'm a Raptors fan, I'm liking how we are this season. I'm liking what we doing this season. I like what we about. I like our feistiness. I like our fearlessness. And I like the fact that they still going out there and competing each and every game hard. And that's a well-coached team and a team that you will want to be a part of if you're looking to join up on a team and win a title. I know living in Toronto and having to travel and the things that come with Toronto might not be the best, but at the same time, it's just a blessing to be in the league. Just ask Terrance Davis.